Get cozy in my chair. First thing I gotta do is unbutton my button in my jeans. These high-waisted jeans, guys. I don't know if us older ladies can wear these. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna get right into it. Thank you for joining me. First things first, I'm gonna announce my giveaway winner. I forgot to tell you guys in my video where I was gonna announce it, and I'm announcing it here. Okay, hopefully the winner is watching this so they can reply and let me know that they know they have won. I'm pretty sure she will be though, because she comments all the time, so I appreciate it. Caitlin Stone, you are my winner of the giveaway. Congratulations, you're going to be receiving this amazing spring China Glaze collection. Wow, they're amazing. I love them. That's what's on my nails right now, is Gimme Suga from that collection. I don't have the polish next to me. Yes, I do, because it's in my favorite corals, so I'll talk about it in a minute. But congratulations. Go ahead and message me on Instagram or send me an email. My links are down below. So fun for me to do that giveaway. I just love giving back to you guys because I know how much time you take watching my videos and then taking the extra time to comment, so I truly appreciate it. And congratulations, Caitlin. Today we're going to talk about my favorite coral polishes. I've been trying to make this a top 10, but it's just not working, you guys. So I'm just going with the flow with every video on just how I feel, and it's just random, but I'm going through my favorite series. So today I combined peaches and corals, so I'm super excited about it. I have picked 15, which is really good. If you saw on Instagram the pile that I had, I really narrowed it down pretty good. But I'll talk about the ones that are pretty similar to these and other brands, because that is what I was finding. There's quite a few that were pretty similar, so we'll talk about that. The lipstick that I'm wearing on my lips is Buxom lipstick Full Force in Heartthrob, and I'm really loving it. It's just a nude, a peachy nude. Can't have enough of those. I love peachy nudes. It is a little bit plumping, which I like. Okay, so I've got my paper here with all my beautiful coral swatches. So exciting. This actually helped me narrow it down. I think I'm going to do this from now on. And let's get into them. The first one I have is dun dun dun. Talk to the Sand. You guys know this is my favorite a couple years ago. I'm even losing track of what year this was my favorite. Well, it must have been 2020 because that's when it came out. So this is from the 2020 Sunny Business collection, and it's a beautiful, bright, barely peach, and I love it. I will insert pictures of this with me wearing it by the pool. It's just amazing in the summer. I've worn it on my fingers, I've worn it on my toes, and it's just beautiful. The formula on this one is pretty good. You are gonna have to do 3 coats, I think, just to get it best. It is possible to get it in 2 depending on how you apply it, but it's just got such a nice opaque formula. It's quite stark white, but that peach softens it a little bit, so it is gonna add a lot of contrast to your skin, and it is just amazing. It was my favorite of all the polishes that were released in 2020. I think a lot of you guys have this, but if you don't yet, then you need to go get it. Okay, so for this next one, I am actually filming this the next day because I forgot to grab 2 of my Essie Gel Couture favorites that are corals, and so I'm inserting this in, and later I'm going to insert another one. I just couldn't leave out any of those Essie Gel Couture polishes, so in total I'm gonna have 17 polishes when this is all said and done. This is Essie Gel Couture Curator. I cannot say that word. Anyway, I love this one. So this is just a step darker than Talk to the Sand, and it's a little bit lighter than the next one I'm going to talk about. So it's kind of in between these 3 in a row. And it is beautiful. It's the first Essie Gel Couture polish that I tried. It stayed on for like 8 days. It was amazing. And the color is just so beautiful, as you can see here in the pictures. This has a really nice formula. You might have to do 3 coats on this one. I feel like it does have a good formula, though. I think you might be able to get away with 2. But it's been around since the very beginning of this line, and it was the first one I tried, and I have loved it ever since. I have a video review of the Essie Gel Couture line when it first came out. They are considered gel, but they are a non-cure gel, just so you guys know, and I love them. And then we have In Full Swing, and this is a beautiful peach. So you can see this one is just a little bit more pigmented. It's a little softer and maybe a touch more muted. It's not as bright because this one definitely has a lot more white in it. So this one's great too. This is from the summer 2019 collection, so it's been around for just a little bit. It's available on Amazon. Other than that, I really couldn't find it around anywhere. You might be able to find some of these older polishes on Trans Design. That's a good place to shop for polishes too that are a little bit older, or 828 Beauty. I haven't shopped there in quite a while because I've kind of picked up a lot of these older polishes, and I have them all now, but that's a place I used to shop old collections, and they usually have some of them. So this one's a great one too. This next one is It's My Moment, and it is a beautiful, definitely more orange leaning peach, which I love. You can see compared to this one, that this one's a little bit more pink and this one's definitely more orange, and it has such a brightness to it. This is one of my favorites from their collection that came out. This is from the Feel the Vibes 2021 collections from Morgan Taylor. It is beautiful, bright peach. Love it so much, and I love that it's a little more orange leaning. This one has a pretty great formula too. It's quite opaque. I'm guessing you might need 3 coats, but it does have a great formula. And then moving into this one, this is Beachy Keen. This is also from the Sunny Business collection that came out in 2020. That was a really amazing collection, especially in 2020 when things were just really hard. It was such a fun, sunny collection to have during that dark, dreary time. I just fell in love with it so much. So a lot of those polishes in that collection I really love, but this one definitely stands out. It's a favorite of mine. The formula is good on this one. It's a little more pink, as you can see, next to this orange, and I will put a comparison picture of all these next to each other at the end of each 5 so you can see how they compare. This one is also really similar to ORLY Cotton Candy. I feel like this one's maybe a little bit brighter. I don't know. The formulas are a little bit different, but the color tone is almost exactly the same, I would say. ORLY Cotton Candy you can still get as well, and I'll probably link it down below. That one's really good too. The formula's a little bit more crelly-ish, but they are both really good. This is also a shade that I really love to wear on my toes in the summertime as well. It's a little bit harder to find. I do think you can find this one on Amazon though, but I don't believe Beyond Polish has this one anymore. I'm pretty sure it's sold out, but it's so good. And then this is the beauty that I'm wearing on my nails right now. This is Gimme Suga from the Hello Sugar China Glaze collection that just came out this year. I have a review of this collection. In fact, I have a review of most of the collections that I'm going to talk about for these favorites, so you can check that out. I'll put the links all down below. But this one is beautiful and bright and just really pops. And I've been posting about it a lot on Instagram this week. Even though it's been snowing here in Utah, I've just been trying to make it feel like spring, so I've been wearing this, and it's actually been really pretty in the snow. It's been kind of fun to wear. You definitely need this one. That whole collection is amazing. That's the giveaway that I did for last time. All the polishes in that collection are great. I think Essie and China Glaze, I keep going back and forth. I can't decide what collection I like best this year for spring so far, but China Glaze and Essie are probably my top 2 collections. I've had this on for about 5 days. There's a little bit of chipping. Sometimes China Glaze doesn't last too long, although I haven't really done like a true wear test, but last polish I wore only lasted like 2 or 3 days. This one's lasting about 5, but I was really good about prep and getting oils off my nails before I applied it, so I feel like that's helped quite a bit. But this one's so good. Okay, so let's look at these compared together. So you can see Talk to Sand is quite a bit lighter and brighter while still being a little bit peach, and then you can see how orange toned It's My Moment is by Morgan Taylor, and then Beachy Keen is definitely more pink, as well as Gimme Sugar. I feel like Gimme Sugar is kind of in between pink and peach, which is like the perfect mix, and it's quite a bit brighter. So those are all those lovely polishes there on my hand in a comparison for you guys. So I'm going to show this comparison next to these 3 polishes so you can see the difference, even though I just shared the comparison of the other ones because I didn't have this one added, and here it is here. So you'll see it's kind of in between Talk to the Sand and In Full Swing there on that swatch, and hopefully that's helpful so you guys can get an idea of what this polish is like. Okay, let's get into the next 5. These are all kind of like mid-tone corals, which are beautiful. So this one is Peachside Babe. It is a beauty. I have loved this one forever. Well, since it came out. This came out in the Peachside Babe collection in summer of 2015. That whole collection was so good. It had like Gelato, Saltwater Happy, Preda Surfer, Sunset Sneaks, and then kind of like a gray one, which I can't remember, which wasn't super exciting, but other ones were all fantastic. They're some of my favorite polishes by Essie. Saltwater Happy is so good. If you guys have that one, pull it out, and if you haven't worn it for a long time. Anyway, back to corals, but that collection was so good if you like to hunt down old collections. It's a little darker than Beachy Keen, so you can see here, but they're kind of similar. This is pretty much just Beachy Keen a little bit darker. But you know, they're different. We like them both. We have to have them both. And you guys definitely need them both. This one's so good. Formula on this one's really great too. It's going to be opaque in 2 coats. So with Peachside Babe, I also wanted to let you know that it is very similar to some other colors that you might have. And so I just wanted to mention them. It's really close to Essie Lounge Lover. It's maybe a little more peach toned. Lounge Lover, it leans a little bit more pink. But Olive and June Stinson Sunset is very close to Lounge Lover. color as well, and Susie is my avatar by OPI is very close as well. I have them all on here, and got myself into a jambalaya from OPI is pretty close to this too. I would say those are all a little more pink though, and this is maybe a touch more orange, but I mean it's just barely a hint more orange leaning, but I definitely can see the difference. And then we have Sweeta Then Suga from the China Glaze Hello Sugar collection that just came out this year for spring, and it is super bright as well, same as the other one that came out with that collection, Gimme Suga, as you can see here. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful coral. It's a little more pink leaning. It's bright. It's going to be opaque, I would say, in 2 coats. It's got a nice formula, but this one is so good, and I can't wait to wear it when it gets a little warmer and the snow finally leaves here. And then we have Carrot Juice. This is from the Olive in June collection that just came out this spring, the Farmer's Market collection that I just reviewed. It is really pretty. It is more orange toned, which I really like about it. The formula is a little bit curly. It's going to take probably 2 coats, possibly 3, but I really like that about it. It's a little bit different than other corals that I have, and I really like the color tone because it's so orange, and I just think it's so fun. You can see it here compared to this China Glaze one, and I'll have a comparison picture too, but this is a little bit more pink, and you can see this is more orange. It is a little bit bright, but it's also a little bit muted, which I like about it too. It's not like super pow, but it's still bright. That collection's really fun. It has a lot of jellies in it too, which I've really been liking this spring. And then we have SPF, I always say XXX, but everyone's like, it's 30. I'm like, okay, I know it's 30, but I don't know why I always just read it XXX. But it's SPF 30. This one came out in the OPI Retro Summer collection. I feel like I've talked about this polish a lot and that collection a lot. It was so good. There's so many good polishes in that collection. In fact, I wasn't buying all the polishes when this came out. What year was that? Yeah, it was like 2016. I was being careful about just doing a few polishes here and there in the collections, and I went back and found all of them because I wanted them all, and I'm so glad I have them because they're so great. So you can look that collection up to see if you want any others from it. But it's a beautiful coral. It's kind of along the same lines as Carrot Juice. It's maybe even a little bit more orange, but the formula on this one is quite opaque. It's going to build up really nice in 2 coats, and it does have a fun brightness to it as well. It makes me think of my dad. He actually passed away in 2016, and I wore this like the week after he passed away, and I don't know, now every time I look at it I think of him. So it really has a special place in my heart, and I just love this color so much. It's so fun and so bright and a little bit cheery. Then we have Don't Kid Yourself, and believe it or not, this came out in a winter collection. It was actually the Toy to the World collection in winter 2021. So this one's really bright and fun, and I actually really loved it in the winter time too. It was just so fun to have a bright coral. And this is actually a little more pink and a little more red than this one, a little bit darker, but you'll see how it compares when I do that full hand comparison of these next 5. But it's really beautiful. It's got a fantastic formula, and this one is available at Beyond Polish. Let's look at our mid-tone corals compared to each other on my hand here. So we have Peachside Babe. You can see that it is a little bit softer than China Glaze, Sweeta Then Sugar. It really has that nice kind of mid-tone peachy coral tone. And then Carrot Juice is a little more orange, along with SPF 30, which is a little bit brighter, and then Don't Kid Yourself is a little more orange and brighter, you can see there. So those are the slight differences of those polishes. Next we have on the list, and I am inserting this one too. This is the other one that I'm inserting the next day. But hopefully this video will just flow really nicely even though I'm inserting it the next day. This one is a really beautiful mid-toned coral. It lasts a really long time on your nails just because it is the Essie Gel Couture line, and it is a nice pinker shade. I love that this one's a little bit more pink, and it really is super, super bright. So this is another must-have from the Essie Gel Couture line. I will show a comparison shot of all the polishes next to this one. They are all kind of similar, these mid-tones, but they have slight variations, and hopefully you can see that in this comparison picture that I'm showing you. But I love them all, and it's so hard to pick just one because I like them all for different reasons, and I do like all the different tones, and hopefully that's apparent there in the picture. This next one is a beauty. I need to get a new bottle of it just because I want to, because I've had this one for so long. The formula is still great, but anyway, I won't keep you waiting any longer. This is Essie Cute as a Button. It's from the I Dreaming Color 2009 collection, and that was before I was really collecting nail polish. Apparently Chubby Cheeks also came out in that collection, which I found kind of interesting. So this has been around for a long time, and it has been a favorite of mine for a long time, but I really haven't worn it for a long time. So I'm gonna try to pull it out. I'm gonna, like I said, try to find a new bottle of it with the newer brush. But it is a beautiful pink coral. It's definitely more pink, so it's almost strawberry leaning, but I definitely consider it more corally. But I didn't stick it in my pinks either, so I just stuck it in here. So it could be considered both a pink and a coral, but I put it as a pink coral. Love it so much. The formula is really good. It builds up in 2 coats. I'm sure most of you have this one, but if you don't, definitely go find it. And then we have Live.Love.Carnival, and this is from the OPI Brazil collection that came out in 2014, the summer collection. This was right as I was getting into polish, or maybe it was like 2013. Actually, it was like 2012, 2013, and I didn't have a lot of budget for nail polish, and so I didn't pick up that whole entire collection, but I picked up a few here and there, and this one I picked up a little bit later. I feel like I got this one like 5 years ago. I just couldn't not have it. I kept seeing it and I was like, I've got to go get this one. It's beautiful. So this has a little bit more red tone in it, so it's a little more red leaning while still being kind of mid-tone. A lot of the other corals that I have are going to get darker. So this is still in that mid-tone. It's a little bit darker though. Here you see than Cute as Button, and it definitely has more red orange in it compared to this one, which is more pink. And the formula on this one is fantastic, and it's super bright and fun and perfect for summer. It is still available, it looks like. Yeah, it's still available at Beyond Polish, so you can get it there. This next one I have is Picante, and this is from the new Olive and June Quick Dry line. I did a whole review of this line, all the polishes in it, so you guys can see the live swatches of them. I'll put a link to it down below, but it just came out this year. And it is so bright and so beautiful and so fun, and the formula is really great, and it does dry quickly, although with those polishes, I think they dry as quick as regular polishes because the polishes from their long-lasting line take just a little bit longer to dry. Just so that you're aware of that. It's a little bit deeper and a little bit more red than this one, and pow, it is bright. It really is. So fun. And I'll show you comparisons of all these on one hand so you can see. There's actually a few really great polishes from that collection, so go watch my review and see which ones I liked. The colors are quite unique that I picked, and so there's a few standouts in there for sure. Then we have She's a Bad Muffuletta, and this is from the New Orleans 2016 collection. It's got a really fantastic formula, and it's just so opaque. It's a little bit more red leaning for a coral. If you have Essie Toys to the World, this one is pretty close to that, just so that you know. I feel like this one, I don't know. I can't remember the brightness, but they're very similar color tone, especially when I swatch them here on my paper. Formula on this one is great, and it's just a must have from OPI. I love these red toned corals from OPI. I prefer them over Essie for some reason. I don't know why, but I just do. This one's one of my favorites. It has a little bit of white in the base, which makes it a little bit more stark and opaque compared to the next one that I'm going to talk about, and I'll talk about those differences soon, but this is definitely a must-have. And it looks like this one's available on Amazon and eBay. And then one of my very favorites, and it's been a favorite of mine for a long time, and I bet you guys can guess which my last favorite is. Cajun Shrimp by OPI. It is so good. It's been around for a long time. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't even write down. I was going to go research and figure it out, and I forgot. I don't know. I didn't do it. So I don't know what collection this was from, but it's been around for a super long time, and for good reason. It's a fan favorite. The formula is really good. It's quite a bit more red leaning. While it does have some white in the base, I guess the difference between She's a Bad Muffuletta and this one is it's a little bit more red toned and this is more pink. This is about as red as I like to get for my polishes. I do kind of like them to be a little more corally. So love this one so much. I wear it every summer without fail. I find at least one time to wear this one. So fun. And I think it's fun on the toes, although yeah, I have worn this on the toes before. So this would be perfect on the toes for the summer. If you are a nail polish collector and you don't have this, then you're really not a true one. You need to go get it now. Okay, let's get into the comparisons of these darker corals on my hand here. We have Cute as a Button, which you can see is more pink, and then next we have Live.Love.Carnival, which is a little more peachy pink, and then Picante, which is kind of a hot corally color, and then She's a Bad Muffuletta, which is a little more pink than Cajun Shrimp that you can see there, and they get kind of darker as you move to my thumb. Whew, that was a lot of talking. My mouth gets really tired, but hopefully you guys love that video, and hopefully it inspired you to maybe pull out some of your coral polishes. I know a lot of you love coral, so I think you're gonna love this video. But let me know if you have these down below, if there's any that you're going to pick up, and let me know what your favorite corals are, and maybe I missed one. I'm sure I did. I usually find one later that I missed and didn't add. I did that with my pinks video. I was kind of kicking myself with that. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, liking, and commenting, and subscribing, and we will see you next time. Bye.